we need to be patient. This takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But you can already see in City Center Warwick and what's happening in Pawtucket and in Central Falls that staying the course and doing the right thing by development is the way to go.
It's just so important that we continue to grow smart within our state.
We're very excited that housing is having its moment. The need has always been there.
The planning and construction of communities that create compact, mixed-use neighborhoods in close proximity.
Transit needs to be frequent and reliable, while housing nearby needs to be affordable.
And thankfully, we have some very interesting examples going on in Rhode Island.
And it can only happen with smart planning and good collaboration.
And speaking of people who build on things and who are positive about Rhode Island's potential, I now have the opportunity to introduce Scott Avedisian, RIPTA's CEO. And I want to stress that Scott has been a longtime champion of community revitalization and expanding affordable transportation choices for all Rhode Islanders, both in his current role as RIPTA's CEO and in his long and outstanding tenure as mayor of Warwick. Under Scott's leadership, RIPTA has been a model for how public agencies can and should engage with public stakeholders and patrons. And with Congress having passed the largest federal investment in transit ever, Scott is in a pivotal position to advocate for the implementation over the next several years of major parts of the state's bold transit vision and master plan I referenced earlier. So Scott, thanks for your ongoing leadership, close partnership with us, and we welcome your observations today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Scott, and good morning, everyone. Good morning, Treasurer. Good morning, Mayors. I'm going to just talk a little bit about transit-oriented development and express the notion that it's not easy and it doesn't happen overnight. So it only happens over time, and it can only happen with smart planning and good collaboration. To succeed, transit needs to be frequent and reliable, while housing nearby needs to be affordable for families and for people who use transit. So in a few minutes, Mayor Picozzi will get up and talk about what's happening in City Center Warwick, but I'll take just a minute to tell you that 10 years ago, when I was mayor, we officially branded that area around the train station and the airport as City Center Warwick. It was contaminated brownfield sites, an old chemical plant, an area that had been used as an auto chop shop for years. And bit by bit, working through DEM and working with brownfields funding from the federal government, the train station got built on an old chemical site. The old New England Malleable Iron Works building was taken down, was remediated, turned into the Hilton Garden Inn and the Iron Works Tavern. And bit by bit, people started to get the notion that we could, in fact, have transit-oriented development going on in the city of Warwick. It's now thriving. Hotels, 3 hotels that have been built in the area, restaurants, a train station, commercial development, and as the city planner told me the other day, 76 units of condominiums and single-family residences are being built on Kilvert Street. And the mayor's going to tell you what the future plans are and the things that are on the drawing board in the city at the moment. But then Mayor Grebian and Mayor Rivera and Secretary Pryor just mentioned what has happened in Pawtucket and the number of units that have been already created and their plans to be able to really expand housing in both Pawtucket and in Central Falls shows you that not only are the rents currently 40% less than what they can get in Boston, making it much more affordable for people commuting into Boston. But with that good planning and that good faith collaboration, transit-oriented development really can happen. So it allows for greater connectivity for our residents, for our businesses, our organizations, and our visitors. And the fact that you can now take the train from Green Airport to the new Pawtucket Central Falls Transit Center is an example of how people are now being able to make those connections up and down the spine of the state. And that synergy allows for other developments to happen that wouldn't normally happen without a convenient, accessible, affordable way to get people from point A to point B on a regular basis. And that's why I'm very excited about the Dorrance Street Transit Center. working with Housing Works and working with the Department of Housing and working with all of our partners. An affordable housing piece in a transit center will also provide affordable housing for our workforce. We issued an RFP just about a month ago, beginning the process creating a state-of-the-art transit center for our passengers, and having a modern, efficient transit center is essential if we're going to provide riders with the amenities and the services that they deserve. The significant growth in ridership that we anticipate in the coming years only reinforces the need for a first-class facility. The transit center will be a public-private partnership, the first of its kind in Rhode Island, and the marketplace is taking notice. Earlier this week, we had a pre-bid conference that was attended remotely by interested parties from around the country. And with the enthusiastic support of Governor McKee, this initiative has generated momentum, and excitement is definitely growing. So I just want to finish by saying we need to be patient. This takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But you can already see in City Center Warwick and what's happening in Pawtucket and in Central Falls that staying the course and doing the right thing by development is the way to go. I just want to end by thanking two of our board members who are here. Heather and Jim have joined us this morning. We have a number of RIPTA staff here, and I want to thank them. We're one of the only transit agencies in the country that never curtailed service during the pandemic. And today, we're back to moving about 900,000 people a month, and that's pretty significant from where we came from. So enjoy the rest of the presentations this morning, and thank you very much for your continued support of public transit in Rhode Island.